let's in fact tune into something that's taken place now in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has decided to resume hearings based on pleas that have been filed in the court seeking a ban on forced religious conversion. Now, in its previous hearing, the Supreme Court had remarked that this remains a serious issue and that conversion by force is not a part of the fundamental right to freely practice and propagate religion under Article 25 of the Constitution. The centre has also in fact responded by saying that it's aware about the seriousness as well as the gravity of this issue and was mulling the possibility of a national law. The centre today is in fact expected to report back to the court on what is the stand of the different states in the union regarding a national law on conversion, its feasibility, its implementability, and how the law that has already been promulgated in as many as 9 states across different parts of the country is actually being implemented on the ground. So a comprehensive response has been sought by the union government, which is expected to file its reply in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has resumed its hearing on this matter. Remember that on the 14th of November, the Supreme Court had made some serious observations about the malaise of illegal as well as forced conversions in India, and those hearings are now continuing. Aishwarya, in the previous hearing in November, the Supreme Court had also asked the centre about what's actually being done on the part of the executive to in fact curb forced and induced conversions. The centre is expected to file a fairly comprehensive response today.
Well, that's right. In fact, Supreme Court after resuming hearing on the plea seeking a ban on forced religious conversion, the Supreme Court had stated that earlier as well. Supreme Court has remarked that this is a serious issue and conversion by force should not be a part of freedom of religion. And Centre has, remember, already stated that it's aware about seriousness and gravity of the issue and mulled a national law. Today, the Centre is to report back and on this particular stand of all states regarding a national law and how the law is working in around 9 states where anti-conversion law has been enacted. To which Justice Shah has stated in the court that this is a very serious matter. Centre also replying to the court in the notice that was issued earlier that they need more time to report back on what is the stand of all these states regarding a national law and how the law is working in around 9 states where anti-conversion law has been enacted already. The centre also stated that they need more time to for the state of to report back to the court as far as the 9 states are concerned. Tamil Nadu, on one part, has also stated in the court during the hearing that law on religious conversion is a state subject. And Advocate P. Wilson, who's appearing for Tamil Nadu state, has stated inside the court that the petitioner is a BJP worker. It's a politically motivated matter. To which the Supreme Court has stated that do not bring politics over here. This is a serious concern and that needs to be discussed. The hearing has resumed in the Supreme Court. It's a very serious matter that's what the Supreme Court has stated, and the arguments continues in the apex court.
Yeah, of course, that's an important submission. The centre, of course, expected now to consult all the states of the union and come out with a comprehensive response. Any information forthcoming on how that consultative process has so far panned out? Yes, there are 9 states that have their own anti-conversion laws in India, but there are several others that do not. So their statements and their points of view will also have to be taken on board.
Well, that's right, and therefore the reason perhaps the Supreme Court has stated that Tamil Nadu, one of the state, is saying that petitioners is politically motivated matter, and the petitioner is a BJP man, to which the Supreme Court already had stated earlier that we should not bring politics over here, but to discuss it as a serious concern. The Supreme Court also had stated that when once a matter is brought to the Supreme Court, they have to decide on the merits ground, and they are not bothered if this is politically motivated or not. Remember, the centre, which has submitted a report to the Supreme Court, has asked for more time in this entire case, and they have stated that once the reply from 9 states will come, they will be filing an entire report.
Yes, and Advocate P. Wilson for Tamil Nadu, like you mentioned, Aishwarya, he's representing the Tamil Nadu government in court. and he said that the petitioner is a BJP worker. It's a politically motivated matter. The Supreme Court has said, please do not bring politics in here. Let me in fact go across to Harish as well, who's been tracking the proceedings in court. Harish, it must also be mentioned to our viewers that Tamil Nadu at one point in time under Jayalalitha had actually come out with an anti-conversion law that had to be withdrawn due to popular outrage. The DMK, of course, saying that this is entirely in the domain of the states. The other states, Harish, expectedly will also have to make their submissions before the court.
Remember that all states were asked to make the stand clear on anti-conversion law today. The Tamil Nadu government dropped a bombshell saying that Supreme Court should rejected this politically motivated petition filed as per a BJP agenda by a BJP worker, and therefore, but the Supreme Court was not impressed. Justice M.R. Shah said that we are not bothered if it is a politically motivated matter or is a BJP man, but once a very serious issue like this, like conversion which is brought before us, we will decide only on the merits and we will not go by the credentials of the petitioner. Very, very important, significant remarks made by the Supreme Court Judge M.R. Shah, blasting the Tamil Nadu government when he said that even the Supreme Court should not interfere and issue such orders and should not ask Centre to draft a law, saying that religious conversion is a state subject and only states can enact a law, and therefore the Supreme Court cannot ask the Centre to draft a national law, and therefore now the hearing is still on, but Supreme Court has rejected Tamil Nadu's argument that this petition should be dismissed as it was filed by a political worker, BJP agenda person, but the Supreme Court said this is a very serious issue, and once such a matter is brought to our attention, we will go by the merits of the matter.
And Harish, any information about whether or not other states have also implemented themselves in this matter? There are several Congress-ruled states as well. What is their stand going to be on this issue is something that we'll also have to, of course, look forward to, given that it's such a sensitive matter.
Yes, in fact, the hearing has just begun. Today, the Centre was asked to consult all the states and know the view as far as drafting of anti-conversion law is concerned, and also how anti-conversion law, which is at present implemented in 9 states, how it is working, and the hearing is still on. Now, only the state of Tamil Nadu has started making the submission. We have to wait and watch how many more states make the submissions. Back to you, Siddharth.
And Harish, one final question. Are we to now, therefore, assume that the Centre has once again demanded more time, or has it made that comprehensive submission that it was expected to make by consulting all the states? Are they demanding more time? Is this likely to drag on for some time longer?
The lawyer representing the Solicitor General of India, Tushar Mehta, said that the Centre required some more time to hold consultation with states, and now the hearing might once again resume after 5 minutes.
Okay, so that's the submission coming in on the part of the Centre. The Solicitor General, Mr. Tushar Mehta, telling the court that some more time might be required for the Centre to conclude its consultative process with several states about the feasibility possibly of bringing some kind of an anti-conversion law. Nationally, there are 9 states across the country that already have it, and the Centre is also expected to give a ground report on how these laws have fared on the ground. Let me in fact go also once again back to Harish. Harish, you said that the hearing is expected to take place in 5 minutes from now. This of course is a continuation of the initial series of hearings that had begun on the 14th, where the Supreme Court had said that conversion is a serious menace. It also has national security implications. Right, we'll continue tracking the developments in the court today, and Harish will come back to us with more updates on the deliberations on the part of the Supreme Court and the submissions that the Centre is expected to make on this very important matter. Remember, 9 states in India already have an anti-conversion law, and the Centre is also expected to apprise the Supreme Court on how these laws are actually functioning on the ground.